Hey everyone, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews, and today we've got a review of Thor. Thor was directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it starred Chris Hemsworth as Thor, as well as Tom Hiddleston, Natalie Portman, and Anthony Hopkins. So I remember watching this movie the first day that it came out, and I was really excited for it, and it was pretty good. The action was immense. They actually built the mythology around the character, and I cared about what happened with the character, with the peripheral characters. Thor does a really great job. He's not too over the top, and then when he goes to Earth, he's actually a fish out of water. Fish out of water stories are some of my favorite. You get to see a character grow, you get to see a character learn, and you get to see Thor come into a feeling of being humble that he didn't have before, whereas he was very brash and he was very bold, and he's a big dumb bull in a china shop at the beginning of the movie, and now he's more of a Ferdinand. He's just like graceful. It's like, I understand the power that I wield, I understand that I have to be responsible and be humble and this, that, and the other. So it was nice to see him grow. Anthony Hopkins does a great job as Odin. I mean, who would think that they would get somebody of that caliber to be in Marvel movies? I mean, yeah, you had Robert Downey Jr., Edward Norton, Don Cheadle, but now you've got Anthony, you've got frickin' Hannibal Lecter in a Marvel film. Something like that hadn't been seen before. I mean, yeah, you had some Samuel L. Jackson, but Samuel L. Jackson is no Hannibal Lecter, okay? I will say that Tom Hiddleston's Loki does tend to steal the show, especially because he plays his part to perfection, and you never know what's going on. He is the god of mischief in this movie. He's a lover, not a fighter, and a lot of things he does, it seems like he's doing it to gain acceptance from Odin, or he's trying to get acceptance from Frigga, who is played by Rene Russo. And everything's great. I like the Warriors 3. I like Lady Sif. They're peripheral characters, but they do get their fair share of screen time. And I think that this movie, as a one piece, it does a really good job of telling a story, of introducing the characters, and it does a great job of world building. It doesn't do a super job with building Asgard as a place, but it does do a super job of building Asgard as a people. The people that you do get introduced to are fleshed out. They're not just pawns or plot devices. They're actually useful in some sort of characteristic way. Sometimes the special effects are a little bit whenever you get to Jotunheim, the land of the frost giants and everything like that. You look past that, you've got a good classic action film that does a good job with his characters. You actually have a romance. Not that I cared for the romance, but I didn't detest it. Normally speaking, if a romance doesn't work or if it feels forced, I am completely out. I'm just like, no, check please, I'm out, please. But this one, even though it feels a little, just a tiny hair forced, it does okay. Is this the best Marvel movie that has come out to that point? No, I think that one still is with Iron Man, but this one's definitely solid. I would actually say that this one is the second best up to this point, so hurrah Thor. As always, my opinion is not the only one that matters. I went back to Kapow Comics to talk with Craig and to talk with Caleb, and they let me know how they felt about Thor.
I really liked Thor, the first Thor. I know it got a little bit of hate, but I really liked it. I liked the references to Donald Blake. I thought it was just a good, fun movie. To me, it's what Marvel movies really, when they excel, I feel like that's a good example of how they excel. You get to see his origins. I didn't care for them changing them from being gods to aliens. It's based off of Norse mythology. Just leave them gods. I mean, who are you going to offend? If they're watching a movie called Thor, certainly they know it's based off of mythology. So there's some problems with it for sure, but to me it was a good, fun, introductory movie for that character.
It was the first time they really branched out into more than just fights and punching. With Thor, they really got into another world. Into it, they broadened the universe of Marvel. of the MCU to being more than just stuff that happened on Earth. And they really did their research with the character. Of course, I think one of the major things it had going for it was the first memorable and almost likable anti-hero slash villain in Loki. I think that they really hit the nail on the head with the casting on that, with the acting. They wrote that part perfectly. And even though he is a bad guy, and you know he's kind of despicable, and he's absolutely villainous, he brought something to that honestly I don't think was planned. I don't think it was scripted. I don't think that they really had the Avengers movie mapped out on that point to include him. He was just that good. He was just that good of a character that people fell in love with. Thor had a lot of things that were working right for it. It had a lot of things working against it as well. One of the things that did have working right for it, though, were the female members of the cast, because they stood on their own. And yes, there was a love story, but it never felt completely damsel in distress. Even the character, and I forget the actress's name, but she's on a show called Two Broke Girls.
Kat Denning.
Kat Denning, yeah. So funny. She hit those comedic marks perfectly. Look at who they got to play Odin. I mean, I was not expecting that. To see Anthony Hopkins pop out and play Odin the way he did was just stunning. But then you get into the things that were wrong with the movie. It's really hard to put a finger on it. It was just one of those things. It was an algebraic equation that didn't quite work out.
Well, there were some boring parts in the movie. It had some long periods of time where it didn't feel like a lot was happening. It lagged. Jokes at the coffee shop, but then again, it was trying to humanize Thor and give him a grounding in a universe he hadn't been in, and so I mean, I kind of understand why they did it.
I think they should have upplayed Shield more than they did. Considering the quintessential part that Shield did actually play in that movie, I thought there should have been more. I thought they should have had more of an element and displayed themselves as a richer institution.
We did get our first appearance of Hawkeye in
the
Marvel Cinematic Universe and that was kind of a cool cameo scene.
Oh, that scene was amazing where he goes in there and there's the sniper rifles, and then he grabs the bow and arrow.
And you're like, wait, is that Hawkeye? Well, and is it not? And then they call him Clint, and you're like, yeah, it's Hawkeye.
Solid casting, solid brick on the road to what Marvel is now, and to the Infinity Wars. It needed a little bit more Jim Starlin in it. For me personally, but it pulled for some key elements, and it had a lot of heart to it. Like I said, there were a lot of slow parts to it, but there's a lot of good there.
I think what I would pull out of Thor is what it set up for future, like we talked about earlier, Loki, and just the cameos that it had in it for Hawkeye and things of that nature. To me, that's what I pull out of Thor, is where it took the entire story, the overall story of the Avengers. So, to me, it's a setup movie for the Avengers more than it is a setup movie for the Thor trilogy.
Thor, if you're listening, I'll come drink with you. We can do this.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Craig, for your opinions. And now it's back to you guys. It's time for you to make your submissions. At this point, we're accepting for Captain America, the first Avenger, and for the Avengers. And if you want to go ahead and get ahead of the game, hit me up with that Iron Man 3. Send your submissions to comicbookquizbowl@gmail.com. And remember, we're still having that giveaway. As long as we get to 200 subscribers, third place gets that Thanos action figure, second place gets a $50 gift certificate, and first place gets the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe anthology on Blu-ray. So share this video, get as many people excited about this as you can so that I can give away this beautiful set to somebody. So that's it for Thor. Tell me what you guys thought in the comments down below. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed what you saw here, hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.